Hello, welcome to our latest review for this year's March Martial Arts Madness Month review. Today we're reviewing the 2005 South Korean film Shadowless Sword, which came out in 2005, like I said, in South Korea. It's rated R. It's directed by Young-jun Kim and starring Shin Hyun-joon as Gun-hae-young, Yoon So-yi as Yeon So-ha, Lee Seo-jin as Dae Young-jin, and who are the other people? Oh my god. You have they're not showing me the main guy of the film. Oh my god. Sorry. So this movie is like a South Korean action martial arts film. It's obviously, watching the film, it's obviously inspired by Wuxia films. Specific, if you look at the special effects of the film, they're especially inspired by late 80s, early 90s Wuxia films like Bride with the White Hair and Butterfly and Sword, right? Which both films we reviewed on this channel, right? The reason why I picked this film was because originally I wanted to review B Chun-moo, the Warrior Virtue, as it's sometimes called, because that film, I've heard from people that it was better than Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and it's based off a South Korean comic book. Back when the South Koreans actually put a lot of detail into their art and not just do the crappy webtoons that they're doing fucking today, man. I used to, back in the day, I used to love South Korean manga, even though, or manhwa, as it was called, even though a lot of them had the problems of they would basically quit. the authors would quit the series, right? I still love them, man. They had great art, and like to see the state of fucking Korean comics today is a fucking disgrace to what those guys were doing back in the day, right? Holy fuck. Webtoons, I get they're free, okay, but like, is that excuse for bad art? Okay. So yeah, I really wanted to watch B Chun-moo, right? Only for the movie. I found the movie on BitChute, but BitChute is a piece of fucking shit, and the video won't load because it's older than 2. It's the video's older than 2 years, so I guess it doesn't fucking work anymore. I'm fucking, what a fucking dumbass I am. I should have watched that movie because I knew about, I've known about this movie for years. I tried to watch it on BitChute, right, years ago. Never finished the movie. Man, I fucking regret that now. So that's why I watched this movie, because the star of Bu Chun-mo plays the villain in this movie, right? Which his name is like unpronounceable to me. Gun-hae-young is the name of the villain, right? So the movie is about, right, it takes place in the 1900s AD, right? It's about how the kingdom called Beihei gets invaded by a country called Iran or something like that. I forget what it's called. It's like to the west of them, right? Because the country takes over their land, steals all their castles, right? And is hunting down all the members of the royal family, right? And the person that's doing most of the killings of the royal family is the main villain in the movie, Gun-hae-young, who looks very cool in the movie, right? He has the evil eyeshadow and the braided long hair, right? And his army that he leads is called the Killer Blade Army. And he has a vendetta against the royal family because they sentenced his father and his family to die for something, right? Which they don't tell us what he did, but we know from the main character, one of the main characters of the film, that, you know, it was a legitimate, like, sentence, right? So with the Beihei army, uh, with all their royal family members dead, they send their greatest warrior, Yeon Soo-ha, who's a female warrior who must be in her like early 20s, right? Goes to find the last member of the royal family, which is the exiled prince, right? He was like 29 years old, right? Which I forget his name. Is it this guy? I do not know if that's him. I see. Is it? Because I totally forgot the guy's name, man. Oh my god. Whatever. The main character of the film, who's like living as a fence in like a crime-ridden city. Which, if people don't know what a fence is, it's basically a place where thieves can sell stolen goods, right? So yeah, Yoon Soo-ha meets him and is like, I need to escort you back to Beihei so you can become the new king and lead our people, right, against the evil Garens or whatever the fuck they're called, right? He for the last 14 years since his exile, which they never say what he was exiled for, and apparently when he was 15, he was this badass general, right? Which at first in the movie you think he's like a coward, right? Because like, yeah, he's been having like assassins go after him, so he tricks some of his evil, like, goons, customers. He tricks Yeon Soo-ha into an ambush by his evil goon customers to try to kill her, right? Only for her to kick their asses, right? Kick their asses, and then the Killer Blade army shows up, which you have the main villain, who's like this badass swordsman. You have the henchwoman, which is like the pretty girlfriend of the main villain, called Mei, right? Who has throwing daggers and like 2 swords, right? You have this evil monk dude with a big mace, and the last dude is this guy with like bows and arrows who can shoot arrows that are basically like fucking cannon shots. He blasts his guy's arms and legs off, right? So what happens, like, one by one, what happens is our main character teams up with Yeon Soo-ha, and he's unreluctant at first to go with her on this journey, but as they fight off the evil bad guys, they start to fall in love with each other, right? Until the final climax of the movie, where you have a series of one-on-one duels, right? I don't want to spoil too much of the film, because there are some cool shit in the film that you should go and watch for yourself, right? Though there's one scene in the movie where it's like, wow, that where it goes into like green screen, and like there's like it's like something from fucking Dragon Ball Evolution or whatever. It's like, what the fuck is this green screen like anime death duel they're having? Right? Which there's a fucking scene where in the middle, I think near the middle of the film, where they have like they have this fight underwater, and it's like you have dudes in breastplates going into the water to chase after them. And like, are you fucking kidding me? George R. R. Martin would be like, yeah, those guys would have drowned. Well, I don't know if like guys in breastplates are heavy enough, or if you go in and swim, you'll drown. But that's if you read the Game of Thrones books, that's the thing where like, when they have battles on ships, you don't, only retards have like wear full armor, right? So it's like a lot of the nobles commanders drown during naval battles because they wear their full armor, and they like end up getting tossed overboard and drowning, right? Oh my god. So yeah, I'm just going to my likes and dislikes of the movie. Some of the fight choreography was good, though some of the wire shit looks like it was just our characters just getting dragged along, especially with one of the scenes where the two female warriors are fighting. It's just like it just looks like they're getting dragged along. It's not like they don't really. It doesn't come off convincing like they're flying around. Which there's lots of flying in the movie and like special attacks, right? Which the one they rip off the special attack move from Butterfly and Sword, where the guy makes people's bodies explode, right? They do that attack several times in the movie, and it's like, what the fuck, dude? That was like the one special move. That was like the coolest scene for Butterfly and Sword, and they're spamming it in this fucking movie multiple times. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, right. Yeah, and I thought the romance shit was in between the two characters was pretty weak. The only reason really the main female character is like in love with our main character is because other main character, the prince, is because of some backstory, right? Which I'm not gonna spoil. And why he's in love with her, who they don't explain that at all. Yeah, I guess she's hot. That's a good enough reason, I guess. You know. So overall, I enjoyed the film, but it's like, dude, it's like it's the thing where I would probably not watch this movie ever again, because like while watching this film, it reminded me of better Wuxia films, like House of Flying Daggers, Butterfly and Sword, Bride with White Hair. I'd rather just watch those movies again than this one. But you know, it was as an action movie, it was okay, right? And I like the ending, right? So I'm giving it. By the way, I thought the cinematography was weak, and I forgot to mention that. But overall, I think the movie's decent, so I'm giving it like a 6.5, 6.5 out of 10. It's worth watching. So I haven't decided the next Martial Arts Madness review yet, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to have a busy weekend because there's going to be a fucking snowstorm. And, you know, so I'm going to be busy. And there's a chance my internet will go out. So, like, I might not even be able to upload this Friday like I promised. But we'll see. So that's it for this review, guys. Peace. And you have, if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. But if you have suggestions, you know, specific titles would be nice. Like, not, because, like, you know, because, like, no offense to the people who are like, oh yeah, do Steven Seagal movies, but it's like, you know, I would not like which Steven Seagal movies. Yeah, so like I can't even find the Steven Seagal movies I like the what was it, Cradle of the Grave, or was that a different one? I don't know, but yeah, let me know specific movies, right? Because there's lots of them on Netflix, Tubi, you know, other places. So let me know.